It's the weekend we've all been waiting for because it's manga license announcements, and we definitely have some really exciting ones. One of them got to mark off my wish list. I'm so excited to talk about it. Hello friends, happy Monday. So very excited that you're here. We're gonna go ahead and jump right in, but I am gonna move, or I decided to move the manga licenses to the end of this video. I will have timestamps, I can talk in my excitement, timestamps down below for anyone who would rather skip ahead. I also have links down below to everything, so if you're curious about it, blurbs and all of those cool things, definitely check it out. The first thing I want to talk about that was something that came on my radar quite a few days ago, and I had heard about the Yona of the Dawn, the musical stage play. I had heard about, the creator had mentioned how she went, how touched she was. Well, I recently started following this new account on X. I think it's like Yona of the Dawn news kind of page, and she specifically talks about Yona of the Dawn. Well, one of the things that she shared is about the Yona of the Dawn stage play, or the musical, excuse me, and how you can actually go watch some of the musical. Y'all, I only watched one video. She has like, I think, or in the link that she shared, there's about 4 or 5 different videos. It's also available for Blu-ray, but I watched the first video. I was supposed to be working on something. I don't remember what it was right now. I was trying to work on it. I was captivated by what I saw. I think it was like a 10-minute digest clip of the musical. Everyone was incredible. Hawk's voice though, oh, his singing was so amazing. I loved it. I would highly recommend that you go check it out. It was, again, it was captivating. It was so beautiful, and I was moved to tears at one point. I was just like, this is one of the coolest things I've seen, and I really felt like all of the singers that they really captured, I feel like the tone of what I'm familiar with concerning that specific character. I guess whether that's because of the anime, even though I haven't seen it in its fullness, or if it's just something else, they felt like they accurately represented the character, and it was beautiful. Again, please go check it out. I actually need to go check out the other links that were shared because I want more. I believe I listened to that one video twice, and I was like, forget whatever I need to do, we're just watching this. With that, I don't actually have a lot of information. I follow a Sacrificial Princess fan page that shares just different news about Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts, which I have right here. We're gonna be talking more about that later, stay tuned. But yeah, it's about Sacrificial Princess, and she released this new visual for the musical stage play, and I was so excited. I need to go do some research to find the official account, because after hearing the Yona of the Dawn musical, I'm like, I want to hear more musicals for shoujo manga specifically. Really love this visual that they have presented and shared with us. It's beautiful. I feel like it captures the characters very well. I'm excited to hear how they sound because I have no doubts it will be extremely beautiful. And again, I gotta go find the official source or official X page so I can keep up with the updates, see any like behind the scenes things, because I really want to hear what they sound like. On the theme of stage plays, we have another, I don't think this is a musical, but we have another stage play announcement, and that is Anyway I'm Falling in Love with You. It just got an announcement from the creator that it's going to be getting a stage play, which I find absolutely mind-blowing. I don't know how many volumes this has in Japan, but I do know that the most recent volume that came out in Japan was just in the top 50 best-selling manga of last week. So obviously it's really popular. We are getting it here physically in the US. We are going to be getting volume 4 next month because I was just working on the Shoujosei news calendar coming up. I guess that'd be later this week. I need to get on it, but it's coming. And so volume 4 releases physically next month. But yeah, this series, which I feel is sort of slightly under the radar in the US, is getting a stage play in Japan. And I was just really blown away by that and how popular this series is becoming. I did read volume 1 and I really liked it. I did decide not to continue it because there were just other things I really wanted to read more, but this series is on K-Manga, so, and it's available digitally. So if you want to continue the series or start the series, I know a while back, like the full first volume was completely free to read on K-Manga. I'm so sad that it's not available internationally though when it comes to like, I recommend if it's on K-Manga, anybody in the world could go read it. I do apologize, friends. But I will be curious to hear more news about this one. It's not a musical, so I'm not sure how I feel about it. I have only really recently followed like the Haikyuu stage plays, and they were absolutely incredible. So I have no doubt that this will probably be really good as well. Let's transition to anime real quick, because even though I have not actually read this series, I haven't kept up with this series or anything. I know it's a dancing manga, but it officially came out that Wandance has an official anime announcement. Big news. I forgot to mark who is the production studio. I think it's Madhouse, I think it is. And they're actually going to be working with a very famous lady. I forget her name, but they're going to be working with her. I have seen 2 different videos and they were fantastic, and I am like, wow, I need to get up on this manga. Though I sort of actually wonder if the dance moves are going to be similar to what I saw in the video. I'll try and leave it linked here. I will try. Shay at Shay Geeks Out felt that that video, if I linked it in the corner, most closely reflected the Wandance dance moves. If that's the case, I sort of feel like I would do better anime only for this, but I know me, if I watch the anime, I love the anime, I'm going to want to get the manga. The covers are so incredibly cool. So I thought I would share about that, because I feel like some people say that this is like a sports kind of series, and I'm very excited and will be intrigued to see and interested to see more news to come. Big news! Sailor Moon has officially come to Netflix, and that's not just like any Sailor Moon here. It is the Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Cosmos, the movie part 1 and part 2. Again, it is officially on Netflix. I believe it just dropped a few days ago. Yeah, on the 22nd, it is there. I have not watched it because I haven't kept up with any of the Sailor Moon movies and anime and whatnot. I'm like, I don't even know where I would start, technically, to be honest. But so if you know and you want to tell me, please let me know down below. But yeah, it is on Netflix, so go check it out. It does look really beautiful from what I've seen of the trailer and everything, and I myself need to go add it on to my Netflix. Now, I remember a while back hearing that Lord of the Rings was getting an anime, and at the time I felt really mixed feelings. I don't know why. Like, in hindsight, I've seen the trailer now, and it is amazing, and that is actually what I wanted to say. If you have not seen the anime trailer for Lord of the Rings, definitely go check it out. It looks really good. The first time I saw it, I saw the Japanese trailer, and then I was watching some random video on YouTube the other day, and then I saw the English trailer, and I was like, oh my gosh, or I guess you'd say the dub trailer. It sounded good. It looked good. I am super stoked for this. I don't remember when it comes out. I don't even know if they're, oh, yes, Christmas Day, because I was like, how fitting for a Lord of the Rings anime to be coming out on Christmas Day. I don't know, that just felt really fitting to me. Very excited. I mean, it looked so good. Definitely go check out that trailer. And before we start diving into all of the cool con stuff, one other thing I want to talk about, because I haven't seen a single account talk about this. I'm like, this is a shame. Now, there's been some other Magical Girl news, and I might talk about that next week. We'll see how it goes. But y'all, look at the promo art that they had, the official poster, I guess you would say. It looks so good. I love the art style, the aesthetic, all of it's really beautiful. And I saw the trailer. I'll leave it linked here as well. So engaging, so cool. I'm very curious and excited for this. And I was like, why is nobody talking about this? Like, not even on the Shoujo news accounts. I haven't seen a single person. I'm like, this needs to be changed. So I'm telling you guys so you guys can know, because I thought the art was too beautiful. Looks really interesting, and I'm excited to see what comes out of this. Very excited for this one. Will be keeping an eye on this one. I've already started following, I know, on X. I don't remember if I subscribed on YouTube. I need to do that because I don't want to miss any updates about this, because I really want to see this. Now we're going into some con news. Still about anime. There's one other thing I want to share. So GKids Films came out and said that they have acquired the rights to put the movie Look Back in theaters, and it's coming out this October in North America specifically. I don't know about other countries. I just knew that they mentioned, and I am very intrigued. I have gotten some very high recommendations for the manga. I've always been very nervous to try it because it's by the same creator of Chainsaw Man. Everybody's told me though it is nothing at all like Chainsaw Man, and I know all of the people who saw an early screen or saw a screening at last month's, I think it was a San Diego Comic-Con, that when they went there and they saw it, I mean, everybody had such glowing things to say. It was really incredible. I mean, I don't think I saw a negative review, maybe some like a complaint, like I don't even think that's the right word, where they might have criticized something, but it was like, I love this. I would easily watch this again. So that spoke a lot to me personally. I don't know if I would see this movie in theaters, but for sure, if it came to Crunchyroll, I would watch it. I should see if the manga's at my library, because the manga is a one-shot, but I've heard, again, nothing but glowing things. And if you're like, man, I couldn't go see it at any of the cons, wants. I want to see it in theaters. Now is your chance. It's specifically saying October 4th that it's coming to theaters. Hopefully, friends, it will come to a theater near you and you can definitely go see it and hopefully really enjoy it. We're going into the manga licenses. I'm so excited. We're going to start off with the GOAT manga publisher that really, in my opinion, set the bar overwhelmingly high for this past weekend of the manga licenses, specifically about Shoujo and Josei, because Yen Press is just absolutely amazing. They are knocking the ball out the park. I've even, I've vented on Instagram about things with a different publisher. I have a meme for that, so I'm gonna save it, but I really feel like Yen Press is hearing the crowd. They're hearing their consumers, the audiences, and they're like, we see you and we are delivering. And I always love it. I always love it when Yen Press, I've noticed the past few license announcements, they always start off with a shoujo. And I actually missed the one that I meant to share that I was interested in. So give me a second. Okay, I got the information. I was like, I can't believe I didn't bookmark this one. I think I accidentally bookmarked a different one, but it's called Helena and Mr. Big Bad Wolf. I could not find more information on this, but shout out to my friend Being Queenie who said, hey, this is a shoujo. And I was like, this is a shoujo. Like, I had no idea because I was really interested in this. I don't fully remember what it was about, except for I was intrigued of how they're saying that the main girl meets her favorite author, Mr. Big Bad Wolf, and she and this cold reserved man bond over a shared love of storybooks. I think it's 2 volumes, but when I was trying to find the research, I think it was like Tapas or Webtoons. They came up and I was like, was this a webcomic or was this a manga? I'm not really sure, but I'm very intrigued. Again, I'm not 100% certain, but I do think this is a 2-volume series. Very intrigued in seeing where it goes. The next one I was really excited for, and that is Victoria of Many Faces. So I actually know the translator of the light novel, which just about to release this month. And she's also translating the manga, which was really cool to find out. And she has spoken so highly of the light novel. In fact, I almost got it. But again, I'm trying to cut back, as I've mentioned another video, to cut back on the amount of light novels I'm picking up and just doing a few at a time so I'm not overwhelmed. But I don't even remember what this one was about. Yen Press is mentioning that it has espionage and it's turned ordinary civilian. I feel like she said that this story does have romance, but this is really a story about independence, and the characters she said are all very, very good. And honestly, I just wanted this because she spoke so highly of the light novel, and I knew the stronger chances were that I would actually read the manga. I really love the cover art. I think somebody said that this was in Flo's comic, and I was like, yes, let's go, because I really love that magazine in Japan, and I'm really excited to check this one out. Though I know I just said that I don't read like a lot of light novels like that, I did want to feature one, and that is I'll Become a Villainess Who Goes Down in History. Now, if you remember, a few months ago, we actually got the manga license for this, and if you also know, there's an anime coming out for this, so this was actually really big news in my opinion to get not only the manga, but also the light novel. The manga comes out in October, which is when the anime airs. I am really intrigued about this one, and it just sounds like a lot of fun. I love villainous manga, and even if I'm not picking up this light novel, I had to feature it because it's a villainous light novel. The biggest win, hands down, this is the biggest win for me all weekend. I mentioned Sacrificial Princess at the beginning of this video. Y'all, Yen Press licensed the spin-off of this manga, and I flailed, I squealed, I kicked my feet in excitement. I literally was on cloud 9. Because the thing is, with all the 3 that I've mentioned, or 4 if I can count right, that I've mentioned, these were actually on Friday night. These weren't even at the Comic-Con or at the con when these were announced. They're like, hey, you can't be at the con? Well, here's some announcements for you. And they knocked the ball out the park. I was so overjoyed. This is a manga I've had on my wish list for a long time, and I love Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts. Very, very beautiful and inspiring series. I do have a review on this channel if you're unsure of like, is this for me? The themes are fantastic, and I have seen different chapters in the Hanatsume magazines. I haven't kept up with it or anything, but every time I've seen a new chapter, I've been like really, really excited. Looks really good. Our cute main character, I can't say who they are. It might be obvious, but it would be a spoiler if I do say it. They look so adorable. They look so adorable. I'm really excited to meet the 2 people in the back. I'm not sure who they are. I only know who the main character is, and I am so excited. Like, again, this was my biggest win of all of the manga license announcements. Cannot wait to dive into this. Easily will be getting it like ASAP. It's gonna be good. I have no doubts, because Sacrificial Princess, the main series, was good. This one's gonna be just as good. I know it. Now, for a lot of people in the shoujo community, they were saying before Seven Seas did theirs that this was their biggest manga license win, and that is the Failure at God School. And so many people have wanted this. This is also in Hanatsume. Of all things, it is by the same author as Apothecary Diaries. So I've been told that if you like Apothecary Diaries, chances are you would like this one. But the premise of this sounds so incredibly different. Like, I know absolutely nothing about this manga except for, you know, the creator, but it's about this young woman, if I'm remembering right. Things are not going well for her family. Her brother is not really wanting to do anything, and so she decides to go to a school, like a divinity school, and she's going to do what she can, I guess, to earn money or get an education to bring in, I don't want to say more money. I don't think she's quite like that, but she needs something for the shrine that her family runs. And so she's going to go to this divinity school with these different gods. I've heard there's lots of shenanigans that unfold, good humor. I don't know if there's a love triangle, but I have seen two different guys, but that everybody who has read this has spoken very, very highly of it. And that's a lot of fun. And so I'm curious to see what goes down, because she's just a human. She doesn't have any spiritual powers from my understanding. So I'm assuming that's where the failure at God School, the title, comes into play. I will be checking this one out. I'm super intrigued, and it just sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun to read. And I'm so excited for so many people who have been wanting this, and it's been on their wish list. What a win just for the whole Shoujosei community in general. Next, we're going into the 7 Seas, the license announcements. It was really exciting to see that they had a panel and that they did their own, you know, different licenses. I only had 2 that I was very intrigued about. One of them, honestly, this first one, it was not even on my list. And I was like, you know, it was more from fear, not from like, oh, that's bad. I can't believe they did that. But it's called Pet Shop of Horrors, the Collector's Edition. Now, everybody was very excited for this. I mean, honestly, I feel like this is up there with the failure at God School, that people were like, wow, this is incredible. A lot of people, from what I've seen, said this was the biggest win from all the manga license announcements. And I think that's because this series has been out of print for so long. And if you want it, you're paying big money to get this series. And now we're going to have these shiny collector's edition. So after seeing so much hype in the community, I was like, okay, Laura, I know you don't do horror. That's not my jam. I was like, why don't we go try it? Just one chapter so we could say we have, you know, an opinion on it. I tried it and it was amazing. Was there a scene that I felt was personally gross? I was like, oh, yes. But then I was like, I want to read chapter 2. And so I read chapter 2. Even better. I loved it. I don't feel there, at least in the first 2 chapters, that there's a lot of horror vibes. There were a little bit gross vibes for me, just 2 different parts though. And it was very minor in how much I enjoyed the chapters themselves. I am very excited for this. And now I get the hype and why it's real. And I am thrilled that 7 Seas is giving us these like out of print series, bringing them back as collector's editions. Like, this is so good. It's a genius move. And so I will be getting this. It'll be my first horror manga that I've ever bought. And I'm pretty excited. And not only that, but it's also a Josei manga. So got some Josei rep going on too. I'm really excited. I honestly would love to read more, but I'm like, no, that's it. I just wanted to try it. And I'm like, when it comes out, I will be getting it. For this one, I told myself, we're not going to do any more manhwa. Or at least we're going to cut back. We're going to cut back. But 7 Seas, we're going to make you reconsider that. And they licensed a webtoon called What It Means to Be You. I was really intrigued about this concept. It's a gender swap romance, I believe. Yeah, it's a gender swap romance. I had to make sure. I was like, I'm pretty sure this is romance. But it's about a young woman. She is a princess and she's been given to this man. I believe there was a family debt. I sort of skimmed that part. Sorry. Sort of skimmed that part when I read it on Tapas. I just wanted the juicy details. And so anyway, she's been sold off. Her brother, they do a really bad thing. And basically she's no longer a princess. The male lead wants nothing to do with her because he paid all this debt. Now she's not a princess because she was born nobility. And so it seemed like a good equal exchange, but there won't no equalness after the exchange, if you know what I mean. And so she ends up taking her life, unfortunately. The thing is when she wakes up in the body of her husband, and her husband wakes up in the body of his wife. I am really excited for this. I was very, very intrigued. I've been asking friends, I've been asking people, like, has anybody read this? Because when I read, was it the Taming My Ex-Fiance's Mad Dog or something like that? I will leave the title or the cover here. But when I read that, I loved the first 3 chapters, but then I heard things and I said, oh, nope, this is not for me. And so I've been doing research on this one because I really, really want to get this. I really love the characters. And even though it was sort of sad in the beginning, the gender swap is so engaging because the way that the woman acts in the dude's body, where she starts learning things about her husband that she had no idea, because for her it was like instant love at first sight. She loves her husband dearly, but he wanted nothing to do with her after the whole princess thing and her not having her nobility status. And so she's learning things just about him. And then when it goes over to the woman who is the male lead in the woman's body, total change in the demeanor, how she conveys herself, how she acts. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe even ended here at chapter 3. But I really want to know what happens next, so I'm pretty confident that I'm going to be getting this one. When's this come out? It comes out in June of next year. I love the cover. It's very beautiful. I am excited for this, even though I told myself, no, we would not be getting any more manhwa. When it comes to Kodansha, I'm just going to leave this meme here that a friend that I follow on X that she did, because it really reflected how things just seem to go with Kodansha. And I'm not going to say any more on that because I have already mentioned online my feelings. To pick us back up here, because I don't want to end this video on a sad note, I have a few different things. So I mentioned a few weeks ago that Starfruit Books, that they are going to be publishing a classic shoujo manga, and I don't even remember the name of it. Oh yeah, The Phantom Thief Bat Baron. So I wanted to show the cover. It's the Japanese cover. It's the full thing. I wanted to show here with you guys because it looks amazing. I believe Matt, who runs Starfruit Books, has already said that it's getting French flaps. Look how thick and chunky this manga is. It is big. Now remember, this includes, I think, 3 short stories included with the main manga for this. I have not heard the best of things about some of the short stories, but I'm really excited for the main story itself. Like, that is what I'm coming for. That is what I want. So I wanted to share it because it looks so good. And I'm like, I want to read my first classic shoujo manga. Though, does Pet Shop of Horrors, does that count as classic or is just sort of like nostalgic? I don't really know. I don't really know what that is. So let me know, because maybe that one would be. Because I believe Matt has said that The Phantom Thief Bat Baron, it doesn't come out until winter, fall of 2025. The Pet Shop comes out in February for my birthday, of all things. So I wanted to share this cover. Looks amazing. Very excited that we continue to get updates about that manga. Now that's really all the news I was going to cover concerning manga licenses. There was a really cool thing that happened, I think Friday night, that I do want to talk about, but I decided to wait until next week because I'm filming this video really late in the day, and I was like, I don't want to overwhelm myself here. But let's talk about Haikyuu, because I haven't had any Haikyuu news yet. If you're a fan of fanzines, or you just want to see some gorgeous Haikyuu art, and it's all in one little place, one little bundle, maybe even a little bit of fan fiction, you know what I mean? Because fan fiction, I do really like fan fiction. Well, there is a new zine called Tempo Magazine, and it is completely free for anybody to download. There are 45 characters, 40 pages, 29 illustrations, 20 articles, all in one zine itself. This is a digital fanzine, so do keep that in mind. I will leave the links down below so you can go check it out. I actually have not had a chance to download this and look through it, but I have a dear friend that has. They spoke so highly of it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I need it. I love the cover. Looks so great with Hinata on there, because he always looks great, but I always love to see him on the cover of zines and whatnot. So I will be downloading that. I'm glad that I'm talking about it so I can remember to go download it too, because I love seeing Haikyuu fan art. I mean, I love fan art in general, but especially Haikyuu. And to wrap up my last little bit of news here, if you've been curious about My Girlfriend's Child and you have not actually bought the manga or have a place like your library doesn't have it to read it, but you're really interested, 7 Seas is actually doing a giveaway, and I believe it's available internationally. This giveaway is being hosted on X as well as Instagram. I will leave a link to both, but you can go enter this giveaway and enter to win volume 1 of My Girlfriend's Child. It is a physical copy. I think for most of them, you just have to follow them, like and retweet or share, and then you just gotta tag a friend. This does end September 6th, so definitely be sure to go do whatever they say the requirements are and go enter to win My Girlfriend's Child, which is very, very good. It has been a very shocking manga for me, in that very different than the typical fluffy shoujo manga that I pick up, but it's so good. I would highly recommend it. So definitely go enter to win a signed copy. I missed that as win a signed copy. So yeah, if you want to win a signed copy of My Girlfriend's Child, go enter that giveaway either on Instagram or X, or maybe even both. And now, my friends, is all the very exciting news I have for you. I definitely have a lot more I would love to share, but we'll stay tuned for next week and I will do that. Let me know though, what are some of the most exciting manga light novel licenses that you saw, or maybe even anime news? I would love to know. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!